Hello ladies and gentlemen, JuiceJitero here for another little bit of jiu-jitsu commentary for you, bit of analysis. Today we're going to be looking at a video from I am Ian 711. He posted up this Reddit thread 16 days ago. I originally saw it and I was like, yes, finally someone that I can look at that we're sort of familiar with. Yeah, he posted a thread and he wanted some advice, and then afterwards he posted this thread with the videos of his matches. So awesome, good on you, Ian. He's got 3 videos in here, so we'll be looking at those over the coming weeks. Not in the next week though, or for the next 5 weeks, because I'm going to be in Europe with hopefully some pretty girls, touring around, seeing old stuff, and it'll be awesome. And doing jiu-jitsu over there. We'll be training at Roger Gracie Academy, and there's a few other gyms that I'll be at throughout Europe. If you'd like to meet up and hang out and have a roll, just leave a comment on the video and we can organise something. So today we'll be watching a video from I am Ian. So this dude in the black gi here is Ian. I don't know who this guy in the white gi is, but we'll be referring to them as Ian and White Dude. For this video we're going to be focusing pretty specifically on our friend in the black gi, Ian. Yeah, and let's just go through it and we can have a look at some things that he needs to work on, as well as things that he's doing right. Cool, let's get into it. Wow, that's pretty loud. Okay, alright, so starting off, Ian's going quite low here, and he pulls guard pretty much straight away. You can see his legs are sort of a bit all over the place. We've got White Gi has his knee in here, breaking his legs apart. What he should be doing, what the guy in the White Gi should be doing, is putting this left leg back a bit more, and then trying to pass that guard as De La Riva more than what he's doing, and that's exactly the reason why. Ian, then you can see him straight away grabs this heel here. What he wants to do now is put this right foot behind the heel of our white gi'd friend, and sweep him backwards. But yeah, White does move his foot back and he's able to sort of balance himself a bit better. I didn't really like this bit from Ian. After he fails to sweep, he sort of sits there a little bit awkwardly. He does have this leg going through, preventing him just white gi walking just around, but it's still not the safest position to be in. You really need to be using your feet, using your grips, and being quite active. Having this grip on the leg here doesn't really help him. You might want to move to, say, the sleeve or the hip, depending on where you want to transition to next, which is exactly what he tries to do. This is probably one of the coolest little I don't know, I guess collar drags that we see. So shortly after White Gi standing up, Ian has a good grip on the sleeve, a good grip on the collar, the lapel, and then he just shuffles out and drags. Now the problem is, White Gi had this grip here on Ian's pants and kept him locked in there, which Ian is able to get rid of that grip and go for a guillotine, but White was able to stand up there. And eventually Ian goes back to his guard, but that's alright because he is a guard player. Going quite high with this leg here, going for a sweep here. You can see he's got the foot, which it does provide you quite a nice solid little base to sweep people with. Starts heading back towards like a De La Riva. White Gi has this grip here, which is really quite a strong grip. Ideally though, I'd like to see it on the inside of the knee or on the cuff, if you're going for like a leg drag, or you just want to try and bump that leg over you and come around. Ian right now needs to circle his hand, get a good grip on the sleeve or the lapel, and make sure that this leg here is really being really active on White's left leg, or going in for other hooks and trying to sweep a bit more. But yeah, having it there, it's not a good place to be. Moves his feet to the hips, he's doing quite well there. Starts to try and climb up a bit, using his hands to try and climb up that lapel. He's still got this hook in through here, which it's really keeping White in a position, unable to move. He could transition to like a barambolo if he's able to sort of break this grip and sweep White towards these guys over here sort of area. White's doing good controlling this pant, although ideally I'd still like to see him either go to the heel, the ankle, or grabbing the cuff or the inside of the knee. You just get a bit of a better grip there, and you can break away a bit better. From there, White's trying to stand up to pass, but that hook was preventing him, and he does end up getting rid of the hook and coming around for stacking him up and passing. In the process, White's gi does come off, but they reset into side control. Right now, this is pretty risky, putting your hands up that high, especially up someone's armpits. Ian's been quite active using his feet, so that works quite well for him. He's able to stay active and keep moving, but don't just put your hands up like this if you're not keeping your opponent on their toes. Otherwise, you'll end up, you'll end up with them just trying to armbar you or popping a knee right, and they've really got solid grips then with your arm away from your body. Where ideally you want to keep it as close to your body as you can when you're defending. But you can see Ian using his legs a lot here, and really forcing White to control the legs a bit more. In the process of that, Ian's able to swivel around on his back and come around, preventing a pass there, I think. And he's also getting a triangle here. That was pretty sloppy by White to sit under, have this left arm under Ian's leg with this right arm through. Ideally you want to have Veer either both in or both out. Right now he's definitely in risky territory. He does just try to throw him, but Ian's able to sort of shuffle around and get back to where he needs to be there. Going with feet and the hips, and for a sweep and a scissor sweep, which he does end up getting. He ends up getting, there we go. Really good pull on that arm there. Watch this grip here. So he's got this this grip behind the head on the lapel, and he's pulling that down to the ground while he's pulling up with this grip on the sleeve. And that's what helps him pass. You can see him bump that elbow across. So bump and gets into mount. Straight away from mount, puts his arm under the head and starts working for an Ezekiel, as well as an Americana. He went for both of those there. Alright, referee sets them back into the middle with Ian on top. Dude wants to slap hands, but Ian's not having a bar of it. Right now, White should really be keeping his elbows in. Perhaps at a white belt level, you might not get as many people going for it, but you've already seen Ian playing a guard game, so you know he's familiar with attacking from his back and going for things like arm bars and triangles. So anytime you feel someone doing that sort of stuff, do not then put both of your arms out like that. You'll end up in quite a risky situation, especially when Ian's now able to go for an Ezekiel as well, because the hands weren't in there to defend the neck. Trying to go back to the half guard. Ian, I really like what he's doing here in keeping that mount. I've heard people say before, you don't have a half guard, they are in your half mount, and I think that's the right attitude to take with it. Camera angle here sort of goes off and we get a nice shot of the ref. There he is. What a handsome man. You can see Ian trying to take the back there, and he goes for a choke. And he does end up on the back here, hooking these feet. Ideally when you're taking the back, you don't want to hook your feet, but Ian is preparing to go into a guard. What he could do here is perhaps put this left foot on the ground and then use that to boost up to get that right hook in. I can't quite see from here, but I'm not sure if this arm is inside the leg or outside it. But that would also determine sort of what options he has there. Okay, so he's trying to try and climb up a bit, and goes for an armbar there, which is very nice. And we can see our white friend sort of trying to climb over him there. He's getting the hand ready to tap, and there it is. Power. We'll just watch him set that one up again. So he's grabbing onto this lapel here and using that to hoist himself up. He is going for the back at this point, I believe. Even though he does have his feet crossed and is expecting turned up in a guard. Grabbing that underarm there, really pull himself up. I think this was White's first big mistake, was pushing this arm out and keeping it too straight, allowing Ian to really grab that arm there, which means he can just sort of shuffle up a bit, and you see him throw this leg over. So here it comes. Right now, if I was White, you'd need to suck your left arm. The arm is about to attack. You need to suck that as far as you can, so it's sort of sticking out here. So you're sucking it through your legs. Unable to do that, which results in the armbar. The next best option would be jumping over and going either to a side control or perhaps ending up in a guard. Unable to do that though, he does get caught. And that is Jiu-Jitsu. Be careful if you're grappling someone that has a good guard game. You really want to be careful of not letting them move. You want to slow them down. You need to stop them. If they're used to playing guard and they're playing in a tournament, they've probably got a good guard game where they train. So you want to sort of remember that they're used to fighting in crappy positions. They're used to getting passed. They're used to getting smashed. So that's what you need to do. You need to suck the life out of them. If you're a guard player, hopefully you can just shuffle around and armbar people from Turtle. Cool. Yeah, this will be my last video for a little bit over a month. Off to Europe to be awesome and do stuff. Watch all my old videos. I think we're up to like 14, 15 now, which is pretty cool. We're getting up there. And any feedback, as always, is super appreciated, even if it's not like positive. Even if you're like, Nick, you suck, like, get better. I like hearing that because then I've got something to improve on. The guy said, make sure you've got less breaks in your videos, so I'm trying to have less breaks. Other than that, thank you for watching. Have an excellent day, and I'll see you in a month.